The alien research fleet moved slowly through the dark edge of human space. Their ships were smooth and bright, built more for study than defense. For many cycles, they had watched young species grow. Humans were marked as curious, emotional, and fragile. Most reports said they were not a threat. The fleet came only to observe and confirm this belief. Inside the lead alien vessel, long-necked observers studied the stars. Their voices were calm. They spoke about trade, future contact, and soft influence. They did not expect fear or resistance. Humans, according to their data, fought each other often but lacked unity. Such species usually broke when faced with something greater. Then the human ship appeared. It did not rush. It did not hide. It came forward at a steady pace, its shape heavy and blunt. Thick armor plates covered its hull. Scars marked its surface, deep lines where weapons had struck before. The alien sensors reacted at once. Defensive systems lit up across their screens. The power readings were far above what a simple envoy ship should carry. The aliens felt confusion, not fear. They assumed this was a mistake in human design. Young species often overbuilt things they did not understand. The human ship stopped at a respectful distance. No weapons locked on. No sudden movement. A signal came through. On the main screen appeared a human male. His hair was dark and short. His face showed no smile and no anger. His eyes were steady. He wore a plain uniform with small marks of rank. His name translated as J. He spoke slowly, in clear words. "We welcome you to the border of human space. This zone is under protection. State your purpose." The alien leader answered with polite tones. They explained their mission of study and peace. They expressed interest in learning about humanity. As they spoke, they continued scanning the human ship. The scans made them uneasy. Every system had backups. Power lines were layered. Life support ran through armored paths. Even communication arrays were shielded like weapons. It was as if the ship expected to be hit and to keep working. Jay listened without moving. When the alien leader finished, Jay nodded once. "Observation is allowed," he said, "but no deep scans. No movement beyond this point." This answer surprised the aliens. Most young species rushed to please. They opened everything. Humans did not. Another human appeared beside Jay on the screen. A female with sharp eyes and tied hair. Her name was Hannah. She did not speak. She watched. The aliens tried to joke lightly, saying humans seemed very serious for a peaceful meeting. Jay did not react. "Caution keeps people alive," he replied. As talks continued, alien scientists quietly shared data among themselves. Human-civilian traffic passed in the distance. Cargo ships. Small transports. Even those ships carried armor. Some even had visible weapon mounts, though powered down. One alien observer asked softly, "Why do their traders look like soldiers?" No one answered. The aliens requested permission to scan a nearby civilian vessel, just basic data. Jay paused before answering. Hannah leaned closer and whispered something. Jay then replied, "Limited scan only." The data that came back was worse than before. The civilian ship had emergency battle protocols. Its engines were tuned for sudden escape. The crew layout placed vital controls deep inside the hull. The alien computers flagged it again and again. This was not normal. The alien fleet felt the first touch of doubt. They asked Jay about it directly. Why so much protection? Why so much readiness? Jay looked at them for a long moment before speaking. "Because space is dangerous," he said. The answer felt too simple. As time passed, the aliens noticed something else. The humans showed no signs of stress. Heart rates stayed stable. Voices did not shake. Even when alien drones drifted closer than expected, human crews adjusted calmly. No panic. No raised voices. Hannah finally spoke. "You are not the first to come here," she said. "You will not be the last." The alien leader asked what she meant. She did not answer. Instead, Jay requested a change in subject. He offered shared history records, carefully selected. Early space travel. First colonies. Disasters caused by failed engines and hostile worlds. The aliens expected stories of growth and hope. What they saw was survival. Ships lost. Cities burned by radiation storms. Colonies rebuilt again and again. Humans adapting every time. Armor growing thicker. Weapons becoming tools of last defense. Then first response. Then controlled restraint. The aliens watched quietly. One observer whispered, "They did not grow into war." War grew around them. The alien leader tried to regain confidence. He praised human strength and said such preparation must mean humans expected conflict. Jay shook his head slowly. "No," he said. "We expect reality." Silence followed. At the edge of the system. Sensors picked up distant movement. Nothing hostile. Just unknown. The alien fleet stiffened. Human ships adjusted formation at once, smooth and practiced. No alarm sounded. No fear spread. Hana gave soft commands. Crews responded instantly. The aliens realized something then. Humans did not prepare for war because they loved it. They prepared because they had lived it, again and again, in many forms. The meeting ended politely. The human ship remained in place until the alien fleet pulled back slightly. Only then did Jay relax his shoulders. As the screen faded, the alien leader stared at the data, still scrolling across his display. He no longer saw weak species. He saw people shaped by endless danger. And for the first time since entering human space, the alien fleet felt true unease. After the first meeting, the alien fleet maintained distance, but continued observation. The aliens discussed quietly. Their initial assumptions about humanity had been shaken. Reports from their scans did not match the behavior they observed. Every human action seemed deliberate, cautious, and experienced. There was no unnecessary risk. Every move was precise. Jay and Hana guided their people with calm authority. Human engineers and navigators worked together seamlessly. The aliens noticed that even when minor errors occurred, humans corrected them immediately without panic. The aliens began to question the idea that humans were a weak species. If this was weakness, it was unlike anything they had ever seen. The aliens requested more historical data. They wanted to understand the roots of this strange caution. Jay agreed to provide access to selected archives. He introduced the aliens to Day, a human engineer responsible for many of the technological adaptations used across their fleets. Day was practical, with a quiet intelligence. He explained, in slow and careful words, the reason behind human preparedness. "Humans do not trust luck," Day said. "We trust preparation. We have learned that the universe is dangerous, and waiting for luck is death." The aliens reviewed old human records with Day's help. They saw that humans had survived countless disasters on their home planet. They had faced war, famine, disease, and natural catastrophes. Entire cities had been destroyed by natural events. Communities were wiped out by conflicts with each other. Yet humans always adapted, rebuilt, and improved. Every failure became a lesson. Every mistake became a new system of defense. The aliens began to notice patterns. Civilian vehicles carried emergency systems. Homes had reinforced walls. Even personal technology could be used for defense. Everything humans created had dual purposes: survival and utility. There was no frivolity. Comfort was important, but only after survival was assured. The aliens struggled to comprehend this balance. They continued to explain their approach. Weapons and defenses are not for aggression. They are for survival. We learn to act, not react. We study threats, prepare for them, and avoid them when possible. When that fails, we respond without hesitation. Hannah added, we train ourselves to remain calm. Fear is natural, but we do not let it control us. Decisions must be clear, not emotional. The aliens recorded every detail, but still doubted. They had seen other species with similar histories, but humans were different. There was a strange harmony in how humans mixed caution with efficiency. They had not been reckless or overconfident. Every action had purpose. Every system had redundancy. The aliens began to feel uneasy because the humans did not behave like a weak or untested species. They behaved like survivors with experience beyond anything the aliens had imagined. The humans invited the aliens to observe a live simulation aboard one of their training stations. The aliens accepted. Inside the station, humans moved through simulated disasters, engine failures, system malfunctions, sudden attacks. Human crews did not panic. They assessed, coordinated, and corrected problems efficiently. Even minor team members knew their role and executed it precisely. An alien observer whispered, "This is not training. They are born ready." After the exercise, they explained the process. Humans did not wait for threats to appear. They studied history and potential dangers. They built systems that could respond automatically. They trained their minds to stay calm and focused. We learn to fight not because we love war, but because we have to survive it, he said. The aliens asked if humans enjoyed these simulations. Jay answered, "No, we dislike them. We prefer peace. But peace is fragile. We cannot depend on others to protect us. Only we can prepare ourselves." As the days passed, the alien fleet became more observant. They watched human engineers modify ships in minor ways. They noticed that even in small adjustments, humans thought about redundancy, defense, and efficiency. Every component had multiple functions. Every tool could serve multiple purposes. The aliens saw humans thinking in ways that combined logic, emotion, and survival instinct into one cohesive system. The aliens requested a tour of a human colony. Jay agreed, sending a small convoy led by Hannah. The colony was on a remote planet. It looked peaceful from a distance. Fields, homes, small ships moving about. But the aliens soon noticed the hidden details. Watchtowers were small but numerous. Emergency shelters were built into hillsides. Every building could seal and reinforce itself. Even children's learning centers had reinforced areas for emergencies. Hannah explained, "We do not live for war. We live for life. But life is not safe without preparation." An alien scholar asked why humans did not show aggression to other colonies. They replied, "We do not need to fight each other to survive. We only fight when forced. Conflict teaches lessons, but it also destroys life. We prefer to survive, and we prepare for whatever comes." By the time the aliens left the colony, they had a new understanding. Humans were not aggressive by nature. They were disciplined, aware, and trained. War and conflict had shaped them, but humans chose peace whenever possible. Their strength was hidden in preparation, patience, and experience. The aliens shared their impressions. They warned each other. Humanity was unlike any species they had encountered. Simple weakness did not explain their resilience. Underestimation could be dangerous. Jay and Hannah had not raised weapons, had not shown anger, yet their mere presence and preparedness had unsettled the aliens. Back aboard the human ship, Jay and Hannah observed the aliens. They understood the unease. They had seen it before in other species. Humans rarely sought to intimidate, but caution and experience often did. Day commented quietly, "We are not proud of war, but we respect survival. Those who do not understand it can be afraid." The aliens reviewed the human records one last time before leaving the area. They saw centuries of adaptation, learning, and preparation. Every record told the same story. Humans built for survival, prepared for conflict, but not seeking it. The truth was chilling. Not because humans were violent, but because they were ready for anything. Hannah watched the aliens' departure. She said to Jay, "They will think twice before returning. They understand now. Preparation is our silent warning." Jay nodded. They have learned that humans are not weak, but they do not yet understand why we fight. Only when necessary. The aliens left with a mixture of awe and unease. The record of humanity was not what they expected. A people shaped by endless challenges, capable of both mercy and lethal efficiency, had revealed themselves, and the universe had just learned that humanity's readiness was its quiet, terrifying power. The alien fleet continued to study the humans from a safe distance, still unsure of what they had seen so far. Reports from sensors suggested nothing out of the ordinary. Yet the aliens could not shake the feeling that something was different. Humans did not act like any other species they had encountered. The calm precision, the careful readiness, and the quiet confidence unsettled them. Suddenly, the sensors picked up movement from the outer edge of the system. Unknown ships appeared, fast and aggressive. The alien fleet reacted quickly, sending orders to intercept, but hesitation crept in. The unknown threat moved unpredictably. The aliens, trained for research and diplomacy, had little experience in real combat. Their coordination faltered. Panic spread silently through the fleet. The humans noticed immediately. Jay and Hana were on the bridge of their command ship, observing the threat. Their crews did not panic. Orders were given calmly and clearly. The humans prepared defenses and positioned their ships in a way that maximized protection and coverage. Nothing was wasted. Every action was calculated. The alien fleet tried to respond. Their ships fired defensive lasers, moved in formation, and attempted to block the unknown vessels. But hesitation and lack of experience slowed them. They were not used to real combat. They were scientists and observers, not warriors. Jay gave a single order. Engage defensive protocol Delta. Human ships shifted into positions instantly, engines humming, shields activating, weapons ready but controlled. Hana coordinated the fleet with precise instructions, her voice steady. Each human crew knew their role. They did not question. They acted. The alien observers watched in awe. Humans fought without anger or excitement. There was no shouting or chaos. They fought with experience. Each maneuver was learned from past dangers. Each defensive move anticipated the enemy's attack. The unknown vessels were aggressive, but humans predicted and countered them without hesitation. They monitored systems, ensuring that every ship maintained optimal power. Even minor malfunctions were handled without delay. Humans moved as if danger was part of everyday life. Jay's calm leadership, Hana's coordination, and the crew's training created a seamless defense. It was organized, efficient, and deadly. The aliens began to feel fear, not from their enemy, but from the humans. The species they had underestimated displayed coordination and experience far beyond what the aliens had imagined. Each human action was a lesson in survival and combat. The unknown ships, which initially seemed threatening, were quickly overwhelmed. Human efficiency, precision, and planning won the day. After the battle, the alien fleet gathered. They were silent, uncertain. They had witnessed humans in combat and understood that humans had a history that shaped their capabilities. The alien leader admitted to the other commanders that they had underestimated humanity. Curiosity overcame fear. The aliens approached the humans, sending a cautious message. They wanted to understand what they had just witnessed. Jay and Hana responded, calm and patient. They explained how humans trained their minds and bodies. Humans prepared for danger not out of hatred, but out of necessity. A human medic, Yuna, joined the conversation. She explained the mental training humans undergo to stay focused under stress. Fear is natural, she said, but it must not control us. We prepare so that when danger comes, we act without hesitation. Dai showed alien observers how human ships were designed to continue fighting even when heavily damaged. Redundant systems, shield layering, and flexible command structures allowed humans to adapt instantly. The aliens began to understand that humans did not fight because they wanted to, but because survival demanded it. The aliens asked if humans enjoyed war. Jay answered simply, no, we value life. Conflict teaches lessons, but it destroys. We fight only when we must. Hannah added, our preparation is not a threat. It is a shield. It is our way of respecting life. The alien fleet left with a new understanding. They had seen humans as fragile before, but now they knew the truth. Humans were built to endure, to adapt, and to survive. Their ability to fight with calm and precision was terrifying because it was the product of experience and intelligence, not brute strength. Back on their ship, Jay and Hannah watched the aliens depart. They understood the message had been received. Humans rarely sought war, but when pushed, they were a force born of countless trials. Day quietly remarked, we do not celebrate our strength. We respect it. Others often do not understand the difference. Hannah nodded. Peace is our choice. Preparation is our reality. Those who underestimate it may not survive. The alien leaders recorded everything. They would remember the lesson. Humanity's calm, efficient response in the face of real danger had left an indelible mark. They had underestimated a species shaped by struggle and war, only to discover that it was precisely this shaping that made humans terrifyingly capable. The universe had glimpsed what humans could do, and the aliens knew they had to reconsider how they approached humanity from now on. The aftermath of the skirmish left the alien fleet shaken. For the first time, they realized the depth of human skill, discipline, and experience. No species they had encountered handled combat with such calm and coordinated precision. The aliens requested a direct discussion with Jay and Hannah to understand the humans better. Jay agreed. He welcomed a small delegation onto his command ship, ensuring that the aliens would feel safe and observed. The atmosphere was calm, professional, and without tension. Humans moved with purpose, not arrogance. Their preparation was clear, but their intent was not aggressive. The aliens asked questions directly. They wanted to know how humans could fight so efficiently and remain so composed. Yuna, the medic, spoke first. Her voice was soft but clear. Humans trained from early in life to manage fear. We learn to observe danger without letting it control us. Our bodies respond instinctively because our minds have practiced control. They demonstrated the human ship's design. Every system had redundancy. Engines could reroute power automatically. Shields could absorb repeated strikes. Weapon systems were precise and controlled. Even when a part of the ship was damaged, it could continue functioning. Dai explained that human engineers did not design for aggression, but for survival and continuity. Hannah added, we prepare for conflict, but we do not seek it. Peace is the goal. Survival is the reason for our preparation. Each decision is guided by experience, not emotion. The aliens were silent. They had observed human conflict and survival strategies, but nothing had prepared them for this philosophy. Humans had been forged by countless struggles, not as warriors, but as survivors. Their capability for war was a consequence of necessity, not desire. One alien leader asked if humans feared war. Jay replied, we do. Every war costs lives. Every mistake is a loss. But fear alone cannot protect life. Preparation, knowledge, and discipline do. We fight when we must, but we do not fight for glory. Yuna explained that human training went beyond physical skill. It involved mental exercises, stress simulations, and decision-making under pressure. Humans learned to act clearly and effectively, even when confronted with extreme danger. The aliens realized that this was a species that had mastered control of mind and body in ways they had never imagined. They showed examples from human history. He shared records of colonies that survived disasters through coordination and planning. Some colonies faced attacks, disease, or natural catastrophes. Humans rebuilt, adapted, and learned from each challenge. Each failure had strengthened them. It was not brute force that defined human progress, but resilience, ingenuity, and preparation. Hannah continued, "We are not proud of war. We do not enjoy it. But war shaped us. Each challenge taught us discipline and caution. We learned to respect life, to value cooperation, and to survive when others might fail. That is why we seem dangerous. We are ready, but only because we have learned to survive." The aliens were astonished. They had expected a species that was naive and inexperienced. Instead, they found a civilization built from trial and error, from constant challenges, and from learning to control both fear and action. Every human ship, every crew member, every system was a testament to this experience. One alien asked if humans would attack if provoked. Jay looked at Hana and then back at the delegation. "We fight only when necessary. We do not seek conflict, but we will not stand down when our survival or the survival of others is at stake. That is the limit of our choice." The aliens began to understand the frightening truth. Humans were not naturally violent, but they were capable of immense, coordinated power. Their calm, controlled efficiency in combat was not accidental. It was deliberate, practiced, and reinforced by centuries of survival and struggle. This was a species that had learned to endure war without being consumed by it. Day summarized, "We are a species built to endure, not to destroy. But if destruction is necessary to survive, we will act. Our choice is peace, but we are ready for the reality of danger." Hannah concluded, "Preparation is our silent warning. We do not boast. We do not threaten. But our readiness is clear to those who look carefully. We hope that understanding us will prevent unnecessary conflict. We do not fear life, but we respect its fragility." The aliens departed with a changed perspective. They had come expecting curiosity and perhaps weakness. Instead, they found a species that was aware, disciplined, and frighteningly capable. The galaxy would have to recognize humans not as a weak young species, but as one built from trial, survival, and readiness. The lesson was clear. Provoking humanity could awaken something terrifying, and the aliens now understood the depth of that truth. Back on their ship, Jay, Hana, and Day watched the fleet disappear. They had communicated the philosophy without threat. They had shown restraint and capability. Humans rarely sought conflict, but when necessary, they were prepared in ways few could imagine. The galaxy had glimpsed the silent strength of humanity, and the aliens would remember the lesson for many cycles to come. The alien fleet retreated from human space, carrying with them a new understanding. For the first time, they had witnessed a species that combined calm, discipline, and experience in such a perfect balance. They had expected curiosity and weakness, but what they encountered was survival, intelligence, and readiness that no simulations could prepare them for. The alien leaders held a council aboard their flagship. Voices were tense, even among those who had studied humans for cycles. Every observer shared the same sentiment. Humans were not what they seemed. They were capable, prepared, and terrifyingly disciplined. The question arose, what did this mean for future encounters? Back on the human command ship, Jay, Hana, and Day reflected quietly. They understood the weight of what the aliens had learned. Humans rarely sought conflict, but when forced, their experience made them formidable. The silent warning had been sent. Humanity was a species that valued peace, but was built for war. Jay spoke to Hana. They will remember what they saw. Humans are not weak. They are not naive. They are cautious because they must be. The galaxy will now approach us differently. Hana nodded, and we have given them the truth, not fear. They will respect preparation, not attack recklessly. The aliens had questions that went deeper. They asked how humans could remain peaceful despite their capabilities. Yuna explained, "Peace is our choice. War is our reality. We do not seek to destroy. We train to survive, to protect, and to continue. Only when life itself is threatened do we fight. Our strength is for survival, not conquest." They added, "Our ships, our crews, and our training reflect this philosophy. We endure, we adapt, we survive. That is our power. It is quiet, hidden until necessary, and precise." The alien council realized that human strength was not obvious aggression, but preparation and experience. Every act, every system, every human decision had been shaped by history and necessity. It was a species forged in constant challenge, capable of mercy as well as force. They understood that provoking humans would be catastrophic. The lesson was clear and humbling. One alien leader said, "They fight not because they desire war, but because they are ready. They have learned control. They do not attack without reason. Yet, when pressed, they are lethal." Another added, "This is a species we cannot underestimate. Their history has given them something few others possess, instinct shaped by experience and discipline." The aliens agreed to change their policies. They would approach humanity with respect. They would avoid unnecessary conflict. They would treat humans as equals, not as a species to be exploited or underestimated. The universe would need to acknowledge a species that was capable of both peace and deadly precision. Back aboard the human ship, Jay, Hana, Day, and Yuna watched the alien fleet fade into the distance. They felt no triumph, only understanding. Humans did not prepare for battle out of pride or cruelty. They prepared to protect life, to survive, and to continue. The lesson for the aliens had been delivered quietly, without threat, but with clarity. Humans had revealed their true nature, capable, prepared, and merciful when possible. Jay reflected, "They now know that humanity is a force to respect. We are not violent for pleasure, but we are ready for reality." Hana added, "The galaxy will remember this. They will think twice before aggression. Understanding is our shield." Dai concluded, "Our strength is silent, but it is real. Others will learn to respect it. Our power is not in seeking war, but in being ready when it comes." As the alien fleet disappeared into the stars, the human command ship continued its patrol. The crew remained calm, experienced, and prepared. They had not needed to fight again that day. The silent warning had been sent. The universe now knew that humanity, though peaceful when possible, was a species built to endure, to survive, and to protect. Those who approached with caution would be respected. Those who threatened life would face the disciplined and experienced force of a species that had been forged for survival. The galaxy had seen the quiet power of humanity. The aliens understood now that provoking such a species could awaken something terrifying. Yet they also understood mercy. Humans chose restraint, but the choice to fight was always ready, precise, and unstoppable when necessary. Peace and war existed together, balanced by experience, discipline, and survival instinct. The universe would never view humans the same way again, and humanity continued its path, prepared for whatever reality awaited in the stars.